Hello, this is Dr. Ted D'Amico, and today we're going to focus on the fifth media and marketing research fallacy, which is wholesale ascription maintains the relationship among measures in a multi-stage research study. Before discussing the evidence as to whether or not wholesale ascription distorts the interrelationship among measures, let's define wholesale ascription and when it is used. In a multi-stage research study in which respondents have to be contacted on two or more occasions, not all respondents participate in all stages. To remedy this problem, if a respondent does not participate in a given stage, he or she is assigned all of the results of that stage of a person who did participate. The person who does not respond is called the non-responder, and the person who donates the data is called the donor. Typically, the two people are matched primarily with respect to key demographic variables that are of major importance to advertisers and media specialists, including sex, age, income, and a few other variables. To illustrate the problems associated with wholesale ascription, consider a one-stage study in which 50% of the respondents indicated that they own a pet, and this same 50% indicated that they also bought commercially prepared pet food within the past 6 months. In this same study, none of those who did not own a pet indicated they purchased commercially prepared pet food within this time frame. Thus, because the two pet measures are perfectly correlated, the answer to the question is what percent of the population own a pet or bought commercially prepared pet food in the past 6 months is obviously 50%. What might not be obvious, however, is that if these same respondents had participated in a two-stage study and the two pet questions were asked in different stages, the answer would be substantially different. For example, if the ascription rate was 50%, and if pet and non-pet owners were equally likely to be non-responders in the second research stage, the answer would not be 50%, but much closer to 62.5%. The following example illustrates why this is the case. Given a sample size of 1,000 and an ascription rate of 50%, we must describe the results for 500 respondents who did not participate in stage 2. Based on probability theory, we would expect that 250 of these 500 non-responders are pet owners and 250 are not. Because demography is generally a terrible predictor of consumer behavior, the probability of a pet owner and a non-pet owner being assigned the behavior bought pet food in the past 6 months is approximately 50%. Since 250 of the non-responders were non-pet owners, 125 or 50% would be assigned the behavior bought pet food in the past 6 months. Thus, based upon these ascribed results, one would conclude that the net of the two pet measures is 62.5% instead of 50%. This is because 500 of the 1,000 respondents indicated that they owned a pet in the first stage of research, and 125 of non-pet owners were ascribed the behavior bought pet food in the past 6 months in the second stage of research. Therefore, based on this multi-stage study, one would erroneously conclude that 625 out of a total of 1,000 respondents, or 62.5%, either own a pet or bought pet food within the past 6 months. In order to minimize the potential distorting effects of wholesale ascription that typically occur in a multi-stage study, research companies should try to maximize the response rate for each research stage by increasing incentives and/or the number of attempts used to contact non-responders. This not only decreases the level of ascription, it also increases the size and representativeness of the sample, and it increases the likelihood of more accurately matching donors and non-responders. In order to assess the potential distorting effects of ascription in terms of the relationship among measures, one should compare the overlap among these measures both before and after ascription. For example, if one wanted to assess the degree to which ascription distorted the relationship between reading a given magazine, for example, National Geographic magazine, and watching a given network, for example, National Geographic Channel, one would first determine the overlap of these two measures among those who participated in all stages of research. Then one would compare this overlap estimate to the estimate that was found after the data were ascribed.